The ocean holds secrets beyond anything we can imagine, but what scientists discovered near the Red Sea left even experts stunned. Explorers expected to find strange creatures, but they never thought they'd see this. Cameras captured something so bizarre and unexplainable that it shocked the entire world. From stalked crinoids to mysterious sounds, here are 20 recent chilling deep-sea discoveries. Number 20. Ping-pong tree sponge. The deep sea is certainly full of a lot of creepy and weird-looking fish, spooky old shipwrecks, and very dark and mysterious places. But did you know that there were even scary trees down there? Well, me neither, but apparently there are. This is the ping-pong sponge tree. It has this name because it basically looks like a tree that's covered in ping-pong balls. That sounds fairly innocuous, but it really isn't. This is actually a flesh-eating sponge, which is nice. The tree itself reaches about 20 inches in height, and most of it is in its thin stalk. Then, at the top, there's a bunch of weird globules or ping-pong-like balls that grow out in every direction. They may look kind of delicate and a little bit trippy, but these things are actually deadly. They are covered in tiny things called spicules that are shaped like hooks and trap any tiny creature that even brushes up against them. In general, the sponges will slowly digest their prey molecule by molecule. What a horror show. Number 19. Telescope octopus. This is the telescope octopus. It is a weird type of deep-sea octopus that is found between 150 and 2,000 meters below the surface in tropical and subtropical waters in the Indo-Pacific region. These creatures generally grow to about 8 inches in length and are so see-through that they're almost invisible. Much like their relatives, the glass octopus, these deep-sea creatures have transparent and gelatinous flesh that makes almost no shadow, which may alert a predator to their presence. They can make almost their entire body invisible except for their eyes and their digestive gland. Their eyes are really weird. While they are on stalks that make them literally pop right out of their heads, these octopuses can then make themselves basically invisible and just poke their own eyes out to see all around them. Hence the name telescope octopus. Number 18. Vampire squid. The vampire squid, despite its name, is apparently neither a squid nor an octopus. Presumably, it's not even actually a vampire, but we should probably just make sure. The vampire squid is a kind of small cephalopod. They live in tropical and temperate waters around the world at a depth of between 2,000 and 3,000 feet, at temperatures of about 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. That's between 35.5 and 37.5 degrees Fahrenheit. These unique animals are completely different from other species and are regrettably considered to be endangered on account of pollution and destruction of their habitats. So, you could probably see why they're called vampire squid. They're black or red in color and have weird web-like skin that has the appearance of a vampire cape. They also have some extremely spooky red eyes, but they don't change their body color or release ink when threatened like other squid do. They do eject a glowing, sticky mucus that acts in a similar way and confuses would-be predators. It doesn't seem as though they go around sucking blood, though, and they're not plagued by that pesky affliction of immortality. Number 17. Zombie worms. Zombie worms are a type of deep-sea creature that's known for its taste for bones. That's right, these weird wigglers are all about eating the bones of things. They live deep below the surface and have been found at depths of 2,893 meters. This is where they can find the carcasses of dead whales, whose bones they just love to devour. These worms will actually use their unique physiology to bore into the bone and reach the lipids inside. They feed on the collagen of the bones and make holes all throughout the skeletal structure. They will also use those holes to hide from potential predators that will, as we've seen before, feed on the enormous carcass of a whale. Number 16. The USS Johnston. This is the world's deepest shipwreck. The USS Johnston was engaged in a massive naval battle in a gulf in the Philippine Sea in October 1944. 300 United States warships fought 70 Japanese vessels, and there were 1,500 aircraft involved. As I said, this was quite the massive battle. Nearly 30 of the Japanese ships were sunk during the fight, and most of the others were so damaged that they were out of commission. That included the biggest battleship that had ever been built, the Yamato. There were several U.S. ships sunk during the fierce fighting, and one of those was the destroyer USS Johnston. It had been hit with shells from the Yamato but managed to battle on further for another 2 hours before the ship finally sank beneath the waves, taking the lives of 186 of her 327 crew. That was the last time the ship was seen for the next 75 years. The island they were fighting close to in the Philippines was called Samar. This island was positioned along a huge marine canyon called the Philippine Trench, and it is extremely deep indeed. Just to illustrate exactly how deep, if you were to put Mount Everest beneath the surface at its deepest point, the summit of the mountain would still be a full mile beneath that surface. The trench is up to 6.2 miles deep, and the Titanic, for comparison, is about 2 miles down. The Johnston was found on a submarine expedition, and the front 2/3 of the ship were still intact. The ship's number was clearly visible, and the ship was resting at 3.7 miles deep. Now it's time for today's topic. On March 28, 2025, a deep-sea exploration team working with OceanX made a chilling discovery in the depths of the Red Sea. While conducting routine underwater mapping with their state-of-the-art deep-sea camera, the team captured footage of a massive creature that no one was supposed to see. At first glance, the creature appeared to be a deformed great white shark, but as the footage was analyzed, it became clear that this was something entirely different. The creature, estimated to be over 25 feet long, had features that seemed to combine the characteristics of both a shark and a whale. Its body was robust and streamlined like a shark, but its tail fin and overall size resembled that of a whale. Its movements were powerful yet graceful, and its skin appeared rougher than that of any known shark species. The creature's unique combination of traits has left researchers baffled. OceanX scientists are now studying the footage, speculating whether this could be a hybrid species or an entirely new marine predator. Some suggest it might be an evolutionary anomaly adapted to the unique conditions of the Red Sea. Whatever it is, this discovery has sparked global intrigue, leaving many to wonder what other secrets the ocean might still hold. Number 15. Snailfishes. Next up, we have a creature that also goes by the name impossible fish. No, that does not refer to it being a vegan substitute like a burger or whatever. It's impossible because, weirdly, it seems to be able to live at depths where it should never be able to survive, let alone thrive. Until they encountered the snailfish, scientists had been under the impression that fish could not live below 8,200 meters. They thought it was simply physiologically impossible. The crushing pressure at such depths is over 800 times greater than at the surface, which would cause the cells of most creatures to collapse. However, the snailfish has evolved unique adaptations, such as flexible cartilage instead of bones, which allows it to withstand these extreme conditions. Its cells also contain special proteins that prevent them from being damaged by the intense pressure. Additionally, the snailfish's gelatinous body helps it float just above the seafloor, conserving energy in an environment where food is scarce. Researchers have noted that these fish feed on tiny crustaceans and other small organisms that drift down into the trench, making them a vital part of the deep-sea ecosystem. The discovery of the snailfish has challenged long-held assumptions about the limits of life on Earth, proving that even the harshest environments can support complex organisms. These fish are crazy-looking, but then again, they generally live in the dark where nothing else exists, so what really do they care? Number 14. Supergiant amphipod. Would you just look at the size of these things? There's nothing quite like a massive crustacean to give your nightmares some new depth of flavor. While investigating a deep-sea trench, some marine scientists got their own bad dreams enhanced when they sent traps down to the deepest depths to sample what was happening down there. They had previously only seen the sort of feeble relations of these giant amphipods, and they certainly were not used to the monstrous scale of the sea creatures. In fact, these big boys and girls are more than 20 times bigger than their regular old relative. The scientists were so taken aback by the presence of these weird creatures, they simply could not fathom what on earth they were doing in that particular place. But that's the thing now, isn't it? That's essentially what makes all of these sea creatures just a bit more terrifying. We know so very little about them, even down to where we might find them. The world is covered with water, and yet what lies beneath most of it is still all but a mystery to us land-loving humans. Puts you off paddling a little bit now, doesn't it? Number 13. Gigantic amoebas. Back in 2011, scientists discovered some super creepy gigantic amoebas in the depths of the Mariana Trench. In a voyage to the trench in the Pacific Ocean, the researchers had used all kinds of new technology to explore these previously unrecorded areas of the deep sea. They found the deepest known xenophyophores, or single-celled organisms that we usually call amoebas. These were unusual when compared to other amoebas because they were so very large. Some of the specimens were as big as 4 inches or more, and that is for a single cell. Since these organisms have only one, the scientists have declared that these are the largest individual cells that exist anywhere, at least that they know of for now. They were found at depths as far as 6.6 miles below the surface within the Serena Trench, part of the Mariana Trench. Prior to this discovery, they had only been found as far down as 4.7 miles. There is still so much down in the trench that remains unknown and completely mysterious. But what may they discover next? Number 12. Dragonfish. Although the dragonfish is only about 6 inches long, it still cuts a fearsome figure in the deep, dark ocean, especially if you're a teeny-weeny creature that the dragonfish loves to call lunch. These eel-shaped predators have extremely gruesome grins. Their fong-line jaws are one of the things that makes them a formidable hunter, as it allows them to eat prey almost half their own size. The dragonfish's body is covered in light-absorbing pigments, making it nearly invisible in the pitch-black depths of the ocean. This stealthy adaptation allows it to ambush prey with ease, striking before its victim even knows it's there. Its bioluminescent glow isn't just for show. It uses specialized light-producing organs called photophores to lure unsuspecting prey closer. The dragonfish can even control the intensity and color of its glow, making it a master of deception in the deep sea. Scientists have also discovered that the dragonfish emits red light, a rare ability in the ocean, which it uses to illuminate prey without being detected by other creatures. This combination of invisibility, glowing lures, and razor-sharp teeth makes the dragonfish one of the most efficient predators in its environment. Despite its small size, it plays a crucial role in the deep-sea food chain, keeping populations of smaller creatures in check. These nasty teeth and dead-eyed faces make the fish scary enough, but the thing that puts them into the category of nightmares is their powers of invisibility. I mean, seriously, these creatures have fangs that are almost totally transparent, which means that they blend into their surroundings, and their potential prey can hardly see those nasty big jaws as they clamp down on their heads. To add a decidedly spooky element to the dragonfish's already scary appearance, it also emits an eerie bioluminescent glow. It's a proper creep even if it is small. Number 11. Mysterious metallic sound. When scientists first heard a super weird and previously unheard noise coming from deep within the Mariana Trench, well, they kind of freaked out because nerds are like that. The 3.5-second long recording was a kind of creepy metallic noise that was captured back in 2016 by an autonomous vehicle that was roving in the super deep waters of the Mariana Trench. There's a low-frequency moaning that is generally associated with baleen whales, but this particular sound had not been previously heard by people. The sound has been nicknamed the Western Pacific Biotwang and has been attributed to baleen whales. It's an unusual sound. Although scientists had not heard it before, they now have managed to isolate it and determine that it was a whale call. This is not the first time a weird sound has been recorded under the sea. Other odd noises have caused all kinds of speculation over the years. Back in 1997, the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA for short, detected a high-amplitude, ultra-low frequency sound under the sea. It was so powerful a sound that it could be heard at a range of over 3,000 miles. At the time, the source of the sound was a complete mystery to the good people at NOAA, and so they named it the bloop and began a decades-long investigation of the unexplained noise. Early on in their theorizing, they thought the sound may have been made by some kind of marine animal, although, frankly, a sound that loud would have to have originated in a creature the size of an island, so that was a little bit alarming to say the least. Then, this fun idea was replaced with the much more boring one that they stick with today. The bloop was the result of glacial movements or a big iceberg crashing somewhere far away. But what do you imagine this mystery sound to be? Have you got any fun conspiracy theories to sling into the mix? Let me know in the comments down below. Number 10. Stalked crinoids. There are two main types of crinoid that exist in the ocean. These are the ones that remain attached by a stalk to the seafloor their entire lives. These are often called sea lilies. And then there are those that are unstalked and are known commonly as feather stars or camacholids. Fossils of stalked crinoids have been found in many places. These show that the way in which the crinoid attaches to the seafloor is through the use of stalks or stems that are known as cirri. These are the base of the feeding system that employs a kind of arm, and these arms have grooves in them that capture the food particles that are then suspended in the water. They then direct these bits and pieces back toward the mouth of the feeding system. Most modern-day crinoids are actually free-floating or feather star types, and they may have a stem as juveniles but no longer use it when they're fully grown adults. The movement of these things is generally accounted for by the changes in direction of the current, but they can actually move themselves to a new location using their dangly bits. This means that they are able to move to different places or even climb to an elevated area in order to feed. These weird-looking things can also swim and will do so by moving their feeding arms into three groups. They can move at a rate of up to 472 to 591 feet per hour, which is kind of crazy for such a small plant-looking creature with no discernible head and no obvious swimming equipment. Fossils of the crinoids have been discovered that date back to 480 million years ago, and it seems that some of these fossilized versions may have survived by attaching themselves to driftwood, often in colonies. Modern-day crinoids live attached to rocks in the gentle currents of the ocean. Number 9. Goblin shark. The deep-sea dwelling goblin shark is like a nightmare combination of frightening alien face and squashed dinosaur shark. It's actually rather horrific. However, I shouldn't judge something on its appearance. I know that's not fair. But are these guys as scary as they look? Well, let's find out. With a long snout on the top and a set of very sharp teeth on the bottom, this shark seems equipped enough to do some predatory stuff. It has a weird technique for catching its prey. The goblin shark can eject its jaws and then send out a dangerous snapping motion to grab a passing prey, and will simply reel its jaws back in and scoff up the catch. Ooh, spooky. This long-nosed shark is actually, and mercifully, much lazier than many of the other sharks. Its sluggish behavior means that it's not likely to expend a whole lot of energy in a high-speed pursuit. And given one look at this freaky fish, no doubt you'll be able to outswim it, just based on fear alone. Woo, I'm glad that one's finished. These guys give me the creeps. Number 8. Baleen whale remains. When a creature dies in the sea, there's a whole enormous natural marine-based cleanup crew on hand. Many ocean dwellers will scavenge on the carcass for days. The body of a vast baleen whale makes for a feast for thousands of other little sea creatures, and it's all rather grim. But then again, this is nature, and it is a cutthroat business to stay alive. Baleen whales are actually several different species of whale, including humpback whales, blue whales, and fin whales, and they're called baleen on account of the way that they eat. They only feed through their baleen system. This is a way of taking in huge amounts of water along with their food, then sieving it all back out, keeping a hold of the prey while pushing the water back out again. They dive down to depths of about 200 meters to feed, mainly consuming krill. But these massive mammals are adaptable and will also eat other fish whenever there's a load of them available. They have a cool technique to kind of round up a school of fish. Baleen whales will swim in circles around the schooling fish and get them to bunch up closer into a kind of easy-to-eat bundle that they can then catch in their mouth. Well, this is very interesting indeed. Let's see what's next. Number 7. Frilled shark. The so-called living fossil is a scary, well, actually, it's downright terrifying, ancient species of shark that, although rare, is still out there menacing people from time to time with its intensely intimidating appearance and sharkish habits. Although there are apparently a few of these sharks still out there, sightings are so incredibly rare that one has only been captured alive in living memory anyway on one occasion. This particular specimen would be pulled from the water near lake's entrance in Victoria, Australia, by a group of rather surprised fishermen. It was such an unusual occurrence that the story made the headlines and captured imaginations all over the world. The super strange shark dates back to at least 80 million years ago, so the thing has been kicking around in our waters for so long, it's no wonder that it's known as a fossil. The name frilled shark is on account of the big old fish's 6 pairs of frilly gills. It does look a bit like it's sporting some Elizabethan ruff, but with a toothier edge than most of those old stuffy portraits would have. Number 6. Black sea devil. Next up, we have a super creepy sea dweller called a black sea devil. It sounds friendly, I know, but what's the problem? Well, have a look at the thing's teeth for beginners. These fish have a gelatinous, round body which is mostly free from scales, and they have a huge head and loads of very sharp, long, fang-like teeth. Some of them even have spines on their bodies, because they weren't scary looking enough to begin with. They are a type of anglerfish, which means that they live in deep waters, mostly near the seafloor. So, they're amongst those odd creatures that have their own source of luminescence that they use in the weird fleshy thing that dangles out of the top of their heads. This thing is their lure that they use to attract their prey, like an angler with a fishing line. You see, anglerfish are really efficient hunters. They not only have a whole bunch of extremely unpleasant, sharp, and pointy teeth, but they also have absolutely gargantuan mouths. The anglerfish's massive mouth extends the entire circumference of their head, and it can also be extended to such a colossal width that these scary sea dwellers can swallow prey that is twice their size. Number 5. Comb jellies. These unusual creatures are comb jellies, or ctenophores. They have given scientists a special insight into the evolutionary pathway of other animals, including humans. It's weird, but this strange species is slightly related to human beings. These comb jellies can help researchers to study the evolution of neural development and neural pathways. They don't have a brain, but their nerve cells are connected together through all their body like a web. And although they may look like a jellyfish, they're not actually related. These two different species have taken extremely different evolutionary paths. There's a weird phenomenon happening with these comb jellies at the present. Whereas climate change is causing many of the species trouble with surviving, these things just seem to be thriving and can cause huge blooms in some spaces. This then makes these creatures dominant in an area, and they will rapidly kill off other diverse organisms. These things could soon be taking over our oceans. Number 4. Marine hatchetfish. Well, where this guy gets its name is a bit of a no-brainer now, isn't it? Obviously, the hatchet-like shaped body captured the imaginative naming wizards at the deep-sea fish investigation named Betrothal Branch, or wherever it is that the naming of things actually happen. It's a member of a ridiculously unpronounceable family of deep-sea dwelling fishes. There are about 45 different species within this particular gang. These fish are found in oceans all over the world, typically at depths ranging from 200 to 1,500 meters, where sunlight barely penetrates. Their silvery, reflective bodies help them blend into their surroundings, making them nearly invisible to predators. Hatchetfish are also equipped with upward-facing eyes, which allow them to spot prey silhouetted against the faint light filtering down from above. They feed primarily on plankton and tiny crustaceans, using their sharp, hatchet-shaped bodies to dart quickly through the water. Despite their small size, they play a crucial role in the deep-sea food chain, serving as prey for larger predators like squid and bigger fish. They vary in size from about 6 inches all the way down to a titchy 1-inch wonder, and they also have that bioluminescent ability that so many deep dwellers seem to have. They use it to create a counter-illumination that helps them to escape predators by lurking in such a way as not to appear darker if they're viewed from below. This is quite clever stuff, apparently. For people in the know in the world of hatchetfish, there's also a kind of freshwater hatchet, and these are the sorts that people often have in their home aquariums. Not these exciting deep-sea sorts with the shape of a dangerous hatchet blade. I mean, who knew? Isn't this a thrill ride of nightmare fish? We've never known such fun. Number 3. Dumbo octopus. These octopuses live at the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean. The deepest of any known octopus species is, in fact, 13,100 feet, meaning that these animals are adapted to live in very cold water without any sunlight at all. The rare Dumbo octopus also has some unusual behaviors to help them find a mate and successfully reproduce when the options are limited and there are very few of the species. It's necessary to get creative. These octopuses are named after Disney's Dumbo because of their ear-like fins, which they use to gracefully propel themselves through the water. Their soft, gelatinous bodies are perfectly suited for the high-pressure environment of the deep sea, allowing them to move with minimal energy. Unlike many other octopus species, Dumbo octopuses don't have an ink sac, as there's no need for it in the pitch-black depths where predators rely more on touch than sight. They are opportunistic feeders, consuming small crustaceans, worms, and other invertebrates that drift down from the upper layers of the ocean. Scientists have observed that Dumbo octopuses are incredibly efficient hunters, using their webbed arms to trap prey and guide it toward their beak. Their ability to thrive in such an extreme environment has made them a subject of fascination for marine biologists, who are still uncovering the secrets of their unique adaptations. You see, now, it is a tiny bit icky, but you'll be all right. The female Dumbo octopus basically carries a variety of eggs around in different stages of development. So, whenever they meet a male, they like to stock up on sperm. You just never know when you might find another eligible bachelor for 1 or more miles down in the dark. So, they have the unique ability to store the sperm for long periods of time after mating. This means that whenever they have optimum conditions for making babies, the female Dumbo octopus can employ the stored sperm with the most suitably developed eggs and thus ensure the best chance for successful reproduction. It's kind of empowering, really. Number 2. Cusk eel. Oh, we have another contender for the deepest living fish in the whole wide world. This is the cusk eel, and it lives in very deep waters indeed. These bony fishes are called eels on account of their appearance, but they're actually a type of fish in the same group as tuna, perch, and seahorse. Varieties of these fish have existed since the late Cretaceous period, and fossils of types of cusk eel have been found from all the way back then. Their elongated bodies and reduced skeletal structure are adaptations that allow them to withstand the immense pressure of the deep sea. The cusk eel's ability to survive in such extreme environments is also aided by its slow metabolism, which helps it conserve energy in a habitat with limited food resources. These fish are known to feed on small invertebrates and detritus that settle on the ocean floor, making them an important part of the deep-sea ecosystem. Scientists are particularly fascinated by their ability to produce sound using specialized muscles around their swim bladders, a feature that may play a role in communication or mating. The discovery of a cusk eel at such an extreme depth has reignited interest in the adaptations required for life in the Hadal Zone, the deepest part of the ocean. Researchers are now using advanced submersibles and remote-operated vehicles to study these elusive creatures and their mysterious habitats. They live in temperate and tropical waters across the world and dwell close to the very bottom of the sea. One species of cusk eel with an unpronounceable Latin name has apparently been recorded at the bottom of the Puerto Rico Trench, allegedly at 8,370 meters, which is bad news for the snailfish, as it beats its record again by 34 meters. Number 1. Barrel eye. Now, this fish does look super weird, and it seems that the deeper we look into the oceans of the world, the stranger the sea creatures become. And the barrel eye fish is one such oddity, equipped for a starring role in a science fiction film. The barrel eye has a transparent, dome-shaped head with extra-sensitive, tube-shaped eyes, which are covered by a green, liquid-filled shield. Beautiful. It helps the creature to spot prey above them, even if they're swimming in pitch-black darkness of the very deep oceans. They also have a pair of nostrils which look like sad eyes and a pointy snout with a small mouth. They have flat, elongated fins in order to move through the water by simply floating motionlessly, and their bodies contain a selection of luminous organs, giving the fish an otherworldly glow. Now, while the fish is no oil painting, it's hard to argue that it isn't well adapted to its deep-sea habitat. This may be one of the best-equipped fish for functioning down there. And while other deep-dwelling animals have lost their sight, the barrel eye has honed their vision to work even in the gloom. This definitely gives them an edge in the food-finding and eating category, and perhaps in evading predators as well. Well, that's all from the spooky and mysterious depths of the ocean. It was quite a journey, wasn't it? Which of these scary things will be haunting your nightmares? And will you ever be able to unsee the goblin shark? Share all your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the other cool videos showing up on the screen, and I'll see you next time.